I'm still here with James. We're talking away.
Again.
Yeah, greetings again. I was showing him the video that I heard about the fairies. Well, it's not really fairies. I don't know what they are, but those little buildings in Sardinia.
Yeah, from the New Earth Channel.
Yeah, and basically all we think is wise up.
Yeah, I'd also bring into this IRS media channel. If you imagine you've got something the size of a doll's house, and you were to pour a sort of a wet mud on top of it, and then there is a memory of that building being there and finding ways in. Again, John Levi has shown this one as a science fiction film set into the future. I think he said it was 2035, something like a Mad Max post-apocalypse world. And in the interests of survival, you're breaking through the roof or the very top of a building in those ones where you've got...
Because what you're basically saying was that all these buildings here were once like this, and something has happened and covered them, and they've been buried, and whether they were stone or not to start with, they've petrified.
It seems to be a combination of liquid, and then the other factor I would say, it's only my personal opinion on it, is the air has a significant factor on how well something is preserved.
Okay, 1 second. To show you, we've come to IRS media, which James says he saw some of these on. So originally it would have been a building like that, stuck in the hills.
Yeah, what you've actually got here, if you can imagine, you've got like liquid mud that has run down, or even with under intense heat, the actual building material itself has melted down on the outside and covered it, and it's all petrified. Forget the funny little Chinese add-on thing, but I mean, if you look closely, these were probably windows and things. They're probably like air pockets, like in a bar of aero or something. But there's definitely regular features to a lot of these. That's maybe not the best image to illustrate it.
Let's
maybe
move on to here. Yeah, we're going to here because I don't want to play. So
see now.
So have those all been put back in to make you realise that that's what it look. This is what's buried underneath.
Yeah, this some of these bits I would say are where they've uncovered some of it, but they're giving a false impression that some monks or whatever went up into this remote place and carved these temples into the rock. I would say it's actually petrified mud that it's poured over the top of it, or maybe a direct energy weapon, and that under such intense heat it has melted the structure, and it's fell over itself, as it were, as it.
We're going to go on a little bit because there's some good pictures.
I mean, if you look closely here, next to these railings on the right, that looks like something's been poured and is set. You know, you imagine if you like with a gravy boat.
What do you think it could have been, though, James?
Well,
this big on top of there, like it's on top, and now they're mountains, whereas they were villages. So what could have come on top?
Well, we don't know there were villages. It may be just one ginormous structure. The only thing you can be certain of is there was something, a building or structure or something at some point in time that has been devastated.
So this is it here, isn't it? This is the bit. So basically, it looked like that, but what they find is that.
Yeah. Now, I mean.
And then they've put the structures on to make you realise. But I mean, look, there's pillars in there.
What they do with places like the Grand Canyon, cheekily, they put the viewing area, the tourist viewing area, so you're looking away from the thing you actually want to be seeing, which is right beneath your feet. So, say there was a viewing area coming out from the front of this picture, you wouldn't see all this. You'd need the viewing area, but you can see the regularity of what were windows and things. That is a building that's been buried. Or several.
It's hard to imagine why, though, isn't it? Like, how much mud has gone on top of that? Where's the mud come from? And then why did it stop there? Why didn't it carry on and cause problems here?
That I don't know. Well,
only stops here over this lot. It's like, I want you turned to mud.
Well, if you think about the California fires, when those fires go in straight lines and can leave the trees intact and pinpoint accurately to basically pulverise
Oh, you mean
a
an
building.
energy weapon? Mud on that one.
I have a theory on the energy weapons and how they're being done. If you'd like to.
Okay. Sorry, James.
This picture here, you can see the impressions. If you look closely in the rock, you can see impressions of like doorways and windows, and something has been poured over it.
It is a bit weird because there's some pillars there sticking in it there.
They could be an add-on, but I mean, what's interesting, what's underneath it. I mean, that's got a very sort of Greco-Romano under those two white pillars. It's, to me, it looks like something like Marble Arch in London.
But then why did the mud stop here at this house?
Well, we don't know it's a house.
Or building.
You don't know the functions of the buildings.
It stopped there at the building. So why isn't the mud carried on?
That I don't know.
You mean they could fire it and go, create mud over that building, petrify it?
Well, no, I think you're looking at intense heat, which has been shown in Russia with an ammunition store that mysteriously caught fire, and the brick actually melted and formed stalagmites.
So you think they've put these bits back on then to make you realise that these are buildings in there?
Yeah, I'd say that is part of a much bigger structure.
There's people there, look.
Even that the structure that's shown there, the archways are massive.
What about that one then?
I would say the bits on the left are part of this same building. Something has been poured over it. I would.
But then it stopped again, just at these buildings. Why didn't it carry on and just?
Well, that may well be the edge of it. It's like a mound, but they've just uncovered. They've scraped away just the surface.
Yeah, maybe because they saw this. That's why.
To uncover any more would raise too many awkward questions.
I'm just going.
I mean, you've got almost like air bubble pockets in that. Again, you've got the same thing here. You've got defined and regular patterns there.
This is in Turkey.
And you've got that same triple.
Like these look like the ones in Jordan, but they don't talk about these ones. These are in Turkey.
Turkey is what we know as Greece. The bigger structures that are attributed to what is known we would refer to as the Greek Empire are actually in Turkey. Remember that Greece is a modern.
Well, I made a video about that because there was an empty ghost town in Turkey, and all the houses. They said, "Wow, there was an earthquake here," and then the people left. But all the buildings are there, just the windows and the roofs aren't on. There's no earthquake, because otherwise the whole building would have collapsed. Yeah. So you don't know what's happened there, but there's these ghost Greek towns in Turkey. So obviously Greece took Turkey over for a while.
Well, no, Greece wasn't formed until 1948. That's a modern country. And I can't help but seeing the term Greece and thinking of the oil industry, the same perpetrators behind all of this. Again.
Right, just looking at a few more pictures here. Right, we've done. Let's go to this one, just to give you. Oh, next bit. Look at that, and that's looking like Jordan, isn't it?
That's starting to look like.
1 second. What we're going to do is, here we go. We're just going to go over to Jordan. 1 second. There you go, Jordan. It's the same thing. That is the same as that.
Yep.
Same sort of buildings. Look at that one there.
Notice that tallest structure there. You've got the larger central of the three, and now you look at every town hall all across the world. All have this three with a middle one. It's the two pillars and the middle path being shown in architecture. It's that same pattern over and over again. You've got this Roman aqueduct thing going on here. What looks to it
must have been quite a while ago, because they're not saying, "Hey, look at all these bones here and that." So
no. I mean, I don't know when. All you can determine really is it was something that happened.
So just to show again,
way back.
Jordan, same thing. It's the same thing. So it's been encased in some material, hasn't it? Go back up here.
Ah, if you look now, if you look at the bottom of that, that's the ground level of today. But how much further down does that go?
There's like an opening there, and there's one here. Look down here.
There's features up in that very top of the screen, top left as well.
We're just looking at someone else's photographs, but we were just trying to, show you with what we were talking about. We were just talking about it, me and James. There you go.
Again, it's the same.
Why don't they ever tell us the truth?
They won't tell us the truth. It's not in their nature.
Even if we don't truth, I think the people would rather the truth.
Yeah. That is incredible, the detail and all that.
These aren't my pictures, they're from IRS's channel, but we're just showing it because it linked into what we were talking about.
They warrant very careful study like IRS has done. He's sort of featuring all these things. It's a very good channel. It was on the strength of John Levi recommendation. But I mean, there you look at the.
Sorry, just changed the picture.
Doesn't matter. You look at the background, the regular spaced features that imply they're windows or something at one time.
Look.
It's been buried.
Let's go to this one. We're just going. And there you go. You can see the building behind it.
Yeah.
Look, layers of it. 1, 2, and they're on top of it.
A lot of the official narratives say.
So how do we know what hills are?
Well, a lot of the official narratives say they were caves and the people dug into them, but clearly they are structures. I mean, the amount of debris on top of that. And the other thing to look for is the horizontal bands of colour change. Is another sort of giveaway.
What's that there? Look.
That again is not all of it. It goes down much slower.
We're just quickly going through some of their pictures.
I'd love to go and.
Now those look a bit. If you weren't like looking at this looks a bit like those little buildings we were in. The reason that we're looking at it is because of this video. Hang on. Yeah, we're back on a different video now. We're on the fairy one. Well, I called it fairy one. I don't even know what these are because, as you can see, these. Yeah, this is on my channel. This one, it's this one. I'll just show you. I don't know if I've put this out on Sun and Moon yet, so it's on Sun and Moon waiting to go out. It's one of my videos because obviously they've striked me. And what did you say about that, James?
Well, if you look at the wording, the way they've said you're getting less viewers because you haven't put a video up for a while. Why haven't you put up a video up for a while? Because they've made it difficult for you. This is classic narcissistic tactics. When you point the finger, you got 3 more pointing back at you. They flip it over like they do with.
Well, do you know what?
This current insanity that's going on.
I know this is a video going on my channel. I'm not usually like this, but I have a middle finger up right now, and I'm on BitChute. Sorry, James.
If you look on that image there on the right hand side, there's clearly a right angle of either a door or a window. That roof.
Look at all this. That's been laid, hasn't it? Look, they've been made.
Yeah.
Do you think nature would do that with that down there looking like a building?
That's again probably Wise Up Channel is the one to ask about this, but I would say that is petrified wood.
Yeah, they're saying they were dwellings. I don't think they were. I don't know what they were, and we're only seeing a bit of it. And whoever's cut in it had good. The people that were researching it originally and cutting into this building were far more advanced because they cut into rock.
It's going on the assumption that is the floor level. I dispute that's even.
That could be the roof.
Level.
Look.
Yeah, but where that guy's standing, I dispute that is the floor level for that structure. I think you find that would have gone. It's been petrified. It's leached out the lime and left this hard, petrified surface. I don't think that's the true floor level.
Do you think that's the roof?
Yeah, that has all the hallmarks of like a roof beam. If you think in your attic.
Oh, yeah, there's a good picture there because there you can see it's like melted.
Mm.
And he's going in there, but this is melted on the top, and that looks like this is Sardinia, but they have these in Turkey, don't they? with the melted, with the weird tops on.
Well, again, it's something you can find pretty much anywhere in the world, certainly in North America.
But where does it go? It's not going across here, is it?
It looks to have been a structure that was subjected to such intense heat that it's probably what you're looking at is the part of the building that has turned to a liquid, and it's sort of run down a bit like the gravy you get on a gravy boat when you pour it, and you get that sort of line. And then if you were to leave it long
what do you think they were pouring from above? Hey, let's turn this building in a gravy boat into a mud.
No, but it's the
stone patch.
The same as you would get on a saucepan or a gravy boat with something like custard, sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? The same sort of.
But they still, James, cut in
thickness of like a thick soup.
Like here,
then set.
They've cut into the rock though. Whoever made the buildings has cut into the rock.
I don't know if they were originally rock.
See, like this. How did they look? They've cut into it.
Well, that last picture you could see there's it looks to be a top of a window or a door.
Well, it's a tree now.
The one where he was crouching down inside.
Oh, I don't know where that is. That one.
Yeah, if you look to the right of that boulder, I mean, that clearly looks to be...
down below the earth.
Well, yeah, I would say... I mean, that's not the ground level, that earth. And that's not even been turned to rock. But you've got bits of rock in there, debris of something.
There you go. Hopefully it opens a... Oh, wait a minute. Where are we? Those ones is the original, and then the round ones, which is that one there... Anything that's got a rounded edge round, they've been cut into so you can get into them. But this must be the same thing as... They just have... Although they've excavated, they haven't done it like they've done...
Well, if you think of...
that one.
If you think of a modern... a Victorian building, and you're looking at the apex of the roof with a tiny little window, I think that's all they found on these.
I'm going back to this video now.
I mean, that to me looks like a boulder.
That's your friend, IRS.
Yeah.
And then that one is the video that's on my channel.
Yeah.
These buildings in this video look similar to this one here.
Personally, I would go with what IRS is explanation of this. It to me it makes the most.
I mean, look at that! You can see bricks in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That could be an add-on. A modern add-on.
Well, why would they put the bricks on?
But look at the foreground in the middle there. There's something under there,
and that looks like
another line of mud bricks or something here, regular intervals again, and you can see it a bit further up under this middle doorway. You've got definite brick.
What do you think they've added that?
No, I think that's what's actually under there. They haven't scraped back enough because there's a distinct colour change as well in that. This looks like modern day concrete at the top, the sort of thing you would get.
There you go, melted bricks.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I would agree with what he's saying, definitely, 100%.
So we think that they're built in stone, but they weren't. They're buildings that have been petrified. I know this. I think this is what's happened to all the pyramids and that. They've all been petrified.
Yeah.
We don't know what they were before.
Well.
So we're all saying, you said, oh yeah, they're poured stone, but they might not be.
I would say, certainly with the pyramids, the explanation that they are poured into moulds on site, rather than trying to move these astronomical weight stones that they can't even replicate today. Even a 1-ton stone block, they had trouble.
I mean, look at the swell that would have come up and then it would have set, and it's quite...
There was some cataclysmic event.
Yeah, but not just here. Turkey as well. Jordan as well.
Well, look at a map of the Earth, and you've got the Grand Canyon right across the Sahara. It looks like something has been scooped out. Plenty of people have pointed to the way it resembles a modern day quarry with the bands. Same with the Grand Canyon.
And that's what's inside these.
Yeah, that's.
And that looks at that. Even though they're different structures, this looks a little bit like these.
Wouldn't you say that?
These have also got those structures in there.
Would you agree that last picture has that sort of Greco-Romano sort of look about those arches again? That same civilization that seems to have been worldwide.
There was places like that. I saw it in here where they had columns in them. When you want to find it, you don't find it. They
Always
do.
the way.
Yeah, but they
Always
showed
the way.
columns in one of them.
I think you're a bit further on. That picture you just showed. You're referring to?
No, they showed in the room there was columns. Just quickly running through it, guys. Hang on. In that one, oh, where are we? I forgot. Oh, it's out in the field. And I mean, this one, let's just play it here because this is my video, so if it goes on. Obviously, the top's collapsed in. Look, that one's moved. This was like a house that's toppled down.
Well, I'd say something has hit it with such force. It's knocked part of the structure off, or certainly dislodged it and broken it off.
When it was petrified.
Or before it was petrified even, and then over a very short period of time, like is shown in Yorkshire, in the caves.
No, that one's dark in there. Yeah, I just want to find the thing with the pillars in, but I'm not going to be able to find it. Bet yeah. We're just running through. But anyway, we're going to finish in a second because we've been going for 21 minutes. But just to show you that, I mean, even like this one, like, it's quite uniformed, isn't it? Oh, it sorts itself out. Flat and straight with a square door in it.
There's a slight.
But oh, see, it's cut out here.
Interesting, the colour change as well there. A completely different colour. That looks more like granite on the right hand side and a sandstone on the left.
But then who dug all these out? It wasn't us.
I've no idea.
But anyway, we're saying that these are more than likely, after meeting up with James, are more like...
That's the one, isn't it?
These ones. After all, that's a pretty good picture of it, isn't it, really?
Yeah. That just has the look of something that's been poured over the top and it has turned to rock, and it's encased the building that was previously there, and it's intact inside. There's no... I
wonder who these people were then, James.
Well, I don't know, but if we were to take the story of that being they've carved into the side of a mountain or whatever, why would you do a little bit here and a little bit there? Surely you would do one.
That looks just like that, and that's Jordan.
It's got that same look, even with a modern building here. Apex bit on this bottom right picture, you've got the apex, and then you've got the central wider part.
There it is. There, look there.
Yeah, again, central wider part. 2 columns and then 2 narrow entrances, one each side.
It's hard to work out whether this is thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago or just a few hundred years ago.
We don't know, do we?
And this building, because Brian Forrester told me, this building goes back 10 kilometres, 12 kilometres. And he reckons you could see where machines had been in there.
I don't think well, I don't know.
Well, he's been in it, we haven't. But
I think you're just looking at a...
Do you think it's clay?
What the rock?
It's turned to rock now, but it was clay, look.
There's certainly a very reddish tint to it. Could well be.
It's still, even though I know what we're saying, what we've been talking about, it's still hard to get your head round that this is just mud, which is petrified. Does that mean there was a lot of water there?
Well, you've got at least 275 worldwide accounts of an ancient cataclysm, which was the biblical flood. It was obviously something so significant that memory has been carried forward, and you can see the evidence everywhere around the world of it.
Yeah. I think that's the same. There you go.
So many temples and town halls all have that two pillars, wider middle bit.
This was
and
a
the narrow
city
bits.
then. This must have been a city.
Part of quite a complex
And this is in Turkey.
city or town, definitely.
So we think that we're looking at carved stone in
Yeah.
stone.
I mean, look
but
at the foreground. You've got tops of arches of things.
What, here you mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's
These are
like,
the tops. There's obviously a lot more here. Look here. It's obviously underground.
It's a glimpse of something that has not been fully uncovered.
So it's a bit like this, James. Hang on, James.
Yes.
It took me ages
Very
to get
much.
that there, didn't it?
Yeah.
To wait for the video to come up, the whole
uploading.
thing. But yeah, so it's more like that.
Yes. And see how the land lies is the saying that comes to mind. What is really beneath our feet? Why is there so much obsession with looking up to the skies and so little
Exactly
attention
what
to
I've said.
what is below?
I say the same. We should
Especially
be
when you
digging
have-
down.
Well, when you have the saying "as above, so below," as well, and that's just on the external. What about on the internal of us as well?
Yeah, a lot of mud though.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway,
Definitely
James,
huge.
it's been a pleasure you helping me do this video.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, in fact, it's your fault we've made it.
That's it. Blame me.
Yeah, it's all your fault, James. No, thanks a lot, James.
You're welcome.